The Trump administration announces its investigation into Facebook and Google under antitrust violations. This means they're possibly clarifying them as monopolies. One America's Jack Posobiec sat down with the publisher of Human Events.
Sitting down with Will Chamberlain, the publisher of Human Events. Now, the president and the administration, both the Department of Justice, Federal Trade Commission, have now announced that it looks like they're going to be bringing forward investigations of the big tech companies, Silicon Valley, Google, Facebook, possibly others, under antitrust. Break it down for us what exactly that means.
Well, it means they're going to look at whether these companies are monopolies and whether they're engaged in anti-competitive behavior. So Google, for example, the question is, do they have, for example, monopoly over search? Something like 90% of searches end up going through Google. It's a pretty compelling argument that they have a monopoly there. And then the second question is, are they engaged in anti-competitive behavior with their various monopolies? And so are they price fixing? Are they charging too much? Are they giving creators too little? For example, I mean, YouTube has almost a monopoly on the kind of video sharing and advertising that they do. Are they not giving creators enough money because they know they have such a dominant market position that creators are forced to use their platform?
How much power does the federal government have in this space?
It has a lot of power. I mean, not just in terms of actually going to trial and going to court, but the investigative power is really remarkable. The amount of documents that are going to be necessary to be produced, the lawyers' fees, and these are multi-year processes, and Microsoft had to go through a lot of pain when it was under antitrust investigation back in the 90s.
A lot of conservatives feel an adversarial kind of relationship with social media. They love using it to connect, but they really feel that since the election of Donald Trump that social media has become sort of anti-conservative. And how will that play out in any of this?
Because these companies have decided to start banning and censoring conservatives and demonetizing conservative content, suddenly they don't have a friend in the Republican Party anymore. And they never really did have a friend in the Democratic Party, which has always been anti-monopoly and pro-enforcement of antitrust.
Now, what would you say to folks in the conservative movement who say that these are businesses, the government shouldn't interfere in private business?
Well, I mean, there are civil rights at stake here. It's more than even just antitrust. If you want to have the ability to meaningfully free speak in 2019, you need access to Facebook, Twitter, and Google. And if you don't have those things, do you really have free speech? So it's a real question of not just your own civil rights, but your ability to win as a political coalition. I think conservatives should not put principle above the ability to win an election.
Will Chamberlain, thank you so much for being on with us and sharing your insights.
Thank you.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube. And call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.